If you want to see me swatch the She-Hulk palette from Urban Decay, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène and welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to HMM Makeup or Makeup. We are definitely going to swatch, we are going to swatch the She-Hulk palette. The movie is out. I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely want to get my fingers into this palette. And it's kind of interesting because it has this big green theme, but there aren't that many green shadows in the palette. There's kind of like the one predominant green eyeshadow that is said to be a good topper for any of the other shadows in the palette, by what I understand. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about the palette, so let me just open it and see what's going on here. And all of the eyeshadows are on the back of the palette. Now let's just, or back of the box, the palette box. And here is the palette itself looks very, very much like the external box, and it has it's quite a nice palette in that it has a magnetic closure, which I appreciate. And this is what it looks like inside. Now, not too much green in here as far as I can see, and there's an additional 6-pan palette that's mostly orange hues that I'm not interested in at all, so I didn't pick that up. And there are quite a few orange hues in this palette to begin with, so I don't feel like I need any additional orange anyway, so that's fine. So a total of 13. 6, 6, and 1, that is 13 total eyeshadow colors, and I am ready to swatch this puppy. Now, I don't know about you, but I was a big fan of the Hulk when I was a kid. And so I haven't seen the movie yet. I do want to see it. And there's just a lot of nostalgia in looking at this palette. And I also noticed there is, look at the inside of the palette. I hadn't noticed this. Isn't that cool? 2 images in one. I love that. I think I'm going to do 3-finger swatches. So going here, here, and then the other side, and then finishing with the eyeshadow that kind of defines the palette. So let's go right into the first row on the left-hand side. We've got Courtroom Realness, Case Closed, and Gamma Glow. So 3 fingers there. Hopefully the ring light likes this. Okay, good. So let's do this. I always double swatch, and it will all fit on this one forearm, which is good. Okay, this one is very much my skin color, so I don't know if you can even see it. And then the third one. Oh, this is cute. This is really a nice one. This is a topper for sure. Okay, so that's the first 3, and I'm going to go in to the shadows again. I have been waiting to get into these. The smaller shadows are definitely not very big. But you know what? It's very hard to completely use up shadows anyway. Anyone who's tried to finish a palette knows how challenging that is. I finish a palette, at least one palette every year, and it definitely takes a lot of focus to finish a palette. So that is the first 3, the first set. And I do like to show the fingers because I find that it shows better what the curvature of the eye would bring out in color-wise. So I'm okay with these. These are very neutral, but you need neutral colors to make looks. You need some of those anchor colors in order to help other colors pop, right? So we've got the double swatch of these three, so let's get into the second row underneath. So what I mean by second row underneath is this row, which I feel is a whole lot more hulkish than the top row, but the top row is very utilitarian. It's definitely needed. So let's do these three underneath. We have Take a Stand, which is a nice chocolate brown. We have No Further Questions. Really fits with the movie for sure. And I haven't seen the movie, but it sounds like it fits. And then Thunderclap, which is has some green to it. So they're oh, it's one of those teal to brown shades. This one right here is the third one that I swatched. These look really good compared to the other three. So let's just swatch those. That is a beautiful color. Definitely an easy matte to deepen with. And that is stinking beautiful. And then the third in that second row. Oh yeah. All three of these are no-brainers. They're obvious. They would always be quite popular in a palette. So let's just double swatch it. Okay, double swatching this row. Yeah, these are no-brainer colors. Guaranteed winners right here. And this builds up very nicely as a matte. And these are nice and tacky, so they would do very well on the eye. Beautiful. So these, the second set of three is Take a Stand, No Further Questions, and Thunderclap. And now we're going, so we did these six on this side. And now we're going into this side, so I'm going to take care of this row at the top there. Just wiping off my fingers, and I can't wait to get into the more colorful side. Let's try to start with the neutrals because they're more utilitarian, and now we're getting into the fun stuff. So we have My Voice, Crushing It, and Brains and Brawn. I like the name of this one. So these are the three that we're going for. My Voice is very pretty. Crushing It. Oh, it's a very sparkly. So there's a matte undertone and then there is a gold shimmer in it. That's a very nice one. And then we've got a full matte in the color called Brains and Brawn. So these are the three that I'm swatching next. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, I really like this one. Very feminine. And this is Crushing It. So what was the first one? Okay, My Voice, Crushing It, and Brains and Brawn. Nice kind of mustardy brown. And let's go in and do a second swatch of that set. And these are the fingers, which I do like to show you. Here we go, second go. My Voice, Crushing It. That builds up nicely. And Brain and Brawn. Okay, I'm liking this. This is very neutral, but there are a few very different colors, and I'm okay with that. It just increases the versatility of the palette. So what I'm seeing so far is that there's a lot of variety of color, even though it's only 13 pans. They did quite a bit of curation by what I can see so far. So I'm not upset about it whatsoever. And the green theme is there, but it's not overpowering. So I'm happy with it. So we did this row, and now we're going to do the final row here, and of course finish up with this beautiful green. So on this last row that we have of smaller pans, we have the first shadow called Trademark This, cute, WeHo Warrior, don't know what that means. It's a purple color. And then Super Suit Up. Guess I'll have to see the movie because I have no idea what these things mean. And here are the shadows of the last row to swatch. So an orange with a green reflect, that's nice. And then we've got this beautiful purple, ooh, iridescent purple. That's a very nice purple, just looking at my finger. And this very electric blue. This one is a very unusual color compared to all the other ones. That's interesting. So those are the three. I'll just double swatch. I'm very curious about why that blue was chosen. Sometimes I would love to know from palette designers why they thought of including to include a certain type of colors, because some of them have me head scratching for sure. So there are the last three. That's the last row that I had to do. And again, the fingers. So these are very pretty colors, no question. I'm just wondering how they're going to go with the other colors. So to me, this whole section makes a whole lot of sense. These are a bit of an enigma to me. I'm not quite sure, but then again, I haven't swatched the green yet, the big green pan in the middle. And that might really go well with those three more colorful shadows that I just swatched. So let's see what happens. And we are talking this guy here. This is the last one to swatch, and Hulk Out is the name. That makes a whole lot of sense. So I'm going in with my index finger, and it feels very tacky, which is a good thing, in my opinion, when it comes to a shimmery color. Oh, and it's very hulkish. In a shimmery kind of way. That is a very good green. So that is the first swatch of this green. Hopefully it's coming through. And the finger. And it has kind of, it's a goldy green. It's very nice actually. And let's just do a second swatch of that one. Again, this is what it kind of looks like when it's built up. And let's see how it layers on. Oh yeah. Yeah, very, very nice lime green. So it's not super Hulk green because there's a gold effect on it, but the base color of the shadow is definitely green, but it has a definite gold hue to it, which will make it look really nice on the inner lid. So here is again the finger. It does look really nice. Okay, so let's, I'm just going to wipe my fingers and we'll take a look at all of the 13 shadows that I was able to swatch for you. Let's take a look. Yeah, out of everything, I'm really confused by these two. I don't understand why they're in the palette. I understand everything else. It makes sense to me. There's a lot of green added to a number of the shadows in the palette. Again, that makes a lot of sense. And with green, orange works really well for a Hulk theme. I really think that these two could have been avoided in this palette. Maybe a couple of additional mattes, like a cream color matte that's a little bit different from this might have worked well. I'm not sold on the violet, the electric violet and the electric blue. Really not sold on it, but everything else I'm fine with. Now, not to say I don't like these colors. I do, but they just seem weird in this range. I feel like something more like what was provided here or here makes more sense, or this one makes more sense than these two. You may very well disagree with me. Please leave me a comment. I would love to hear. And maybe they just wanted a pop of color to add interest. That's fine. And you know, in the lower lash line, that might look really good. But overall, I think this palette looks very promising with a number of shadows that would be, especially these guys here, that would be pretty popular with a lot of people. So these guys, this one, I think would go over really, really well. And I do think as well that Crush It would look quite nice. So that's great. Crush It, and I do like this one as well. What's this one? Trademark This. I think is a very nice shadow as well. So as far as swatching this palette, I'm okay with it. I'm very, very much okay with it. And I'm not huge on orange as an eyeshadow, but yes, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shadows that have either primarily orange or as a secondary color. But there's enough variety in the palette that I don't feel like I would be overpowered by orange, meaning I would have to have orange in every look. I would definitely be able to change it up and do some interesting variations on this theme. But if you have been following my channel for a while, you would know that I'm a sucker for lime green. Lime green and purple are my two go-to colors that I absolutely love. And this lime green does it for me, definitely. And the fact that there's lime green in this color as well and this color as well, it does make me pretty happy in having this palette. And I do also really love the way they packaged this palette. I think they did a great job. I'll definitely go see the movie. And also this nice surprise inside the palette that I did not expect is beautiful. It will entertain me as if I'm a child every single time that I open up this palette. Okay, I've done enough. That's okay. I think Urban Decay and Marvel Studios did a great job. Well, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm very happy that I have it, truly. And this palette is giving me a green theme. You'll see some other swatches videos with green as a theme, because I have been avoiding green eyeshadow palettes for a long time, and part of it was my bias against green because I have green eyes. And green eyes, if you are not aware, green eyes are actually eyes that change color based on whatever else you have as a color around. It's a really kind of interesting difference between green eyes and any other eye color. And so I was biased against any green eyeshadow because I thought it would clash with the green eyes, but apparently it shouldn't. Apparently they should play nice, the green eyeshadow and the green eyes. So I am ready to do more with green eyeshadow around my green eyes, and because of that, you've seen me swatch this palette, but I have a few other palettes that are coming up on this channel that I'm also going to swatch, and let me show you 2 more of them. Another one is this ABH palette. It is the Nouveau palette. I had to get it, especially with the name Nouveau, which means new. And the packaging, they did a great job. This is a beautiful type of packaging for this palette. And this is what it looks like. Hopefully I will not blind you, but this is the palette. And I had to repress 3 of them, this one, and this one. It did come broken. But there's green here, green here, green here, and one could argue that this has a green base as well. And I do believe this one is arguably, possibly, partially green, but at least there are these 3 for sure, and I'm pretty happy with that. And this one has some green undertones in there as well. Very excited to be swatching this one. I'm not swatching it right away, but just to let you know to look for it on this channel. And then this other one that doesn't have that many greens, but it was touted as a green palette, and I just decided to get it, the Urban Decay Wild Greens, and this is what it looks like inside. So I'll be swatching this one on the channel sooner than later as well. And I have to say, this is a shadow that I'm really excited to try. Definitely excited to try. So yeah, we've got a couple of other palettes to swatch as well. But I would say that the She-Hulk palette was the absolute one that I wanted to swatch to begin with, which I have done. Let me know what you think of the swatches, and I look forward to your comments, and I look forward to swatching the other two for you as well in a future video. For now, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. For now, take care.